Good afternoon, students. This is Sarita Sani, your economics teacher. So here we are with e-learning initiative of Cambridge International School, the SUA. Today's topic, we are just now at the finish of your last chapter, that is chapter 1, introduction part. So your subject is economics, grade 11. We are talking about U. So the first topic is marginal opportunity cost and characteristics of PPF. So today we have to finish this chapter with all the two topics which we are going to cover. Now, your teacher's name is Sarita Sani, so I'm here. Let's do the next thing. So, what we are going to cover today in your main topics. So, the first topic is marginal opportunity cost. We have already covered opportunity cost. Marginal opportunity cost we have drawn when we were calculating your schedule for PPF. So we have discussed that one, but in detail today we are going to discuss. So marginal rate of transformation also we have mentioned it as MOC and MRT in your schedule for PPF. So that was already we have covered, but we have to do it in detail today. So next is the characteristics of production possibility frontier. So whatever that is left left related to your PPF, that we are going to cover today, and in the last we are going to do few questions which we are going to cover today on your notebooks. So let's continue with your first topic of today, that is marginal opportunity cost. So marginal opportunity cost is the rate at which is the cost at which one commodity is sacrificed for production of additional unit of the other commodity. So you can see here, so there are production possibilities, that means the combinations of two goods X and Y that is given to you, and A, B, C, D, E, F are the combinations, production possibility combinations, possibilities they have given you here. So we have got 6 combinations. The first good is X and the second good is Y. So for the first combination we have 15 units of good X and we have got 0 units for good Y. So for this, we are not able to find out the marginal opportunity cost. I already discussed you earlier when we were talking about PPF schedule. So the last unit was not available to us before combination A. We were not having any information of the good X and Y units. So the next thing is that is 14, B combination has got 14 units of good X, and for Y we have got 1 unit for this. And now here your change in good X and good Y is of 1 unit. So what is that? That is 1. For 15 to 14 it came for X, and for Y it has increased, that is 0 to 1. So MOC is basically always increasing. It is always not decrease, but it is always increasing. So as you can see the values of MOC, that is increasing. So as one commodity is decreasing, good X units are decreasing, good Y units are increasing. So MOC is always increasing. Now let's discuss about MRT. So what is that? Marginal rate. So we are going to discuss about marginal rate of transformation. So we call it as production possibility frontier as transformation curve also. So this is the rate on which changes occurs. So the change in Y, your triangle represents here is change. So whatever the change occur in the first combination and the second combination of your Y commodity and then your X commodity. So the difference between both, for gaining X commodity we lost some units of your Y commodity. So that will be mentioned at the top of your formula before this gain of output of X. So for, as I already told you, 1 unit is declining, one commodity is declining in units, the value of the units will be declining, and when we talk about other commodity, that will be gaining some output. So they are mentioned in the formula, loss of output of Y over gain of output of X. So when some resources are shifted from Y to X, then this marginal rate of transformation always calculated. So we have already calculated your MRT on the production possibility schedule. So we have discussed about units of guns and butter. So the change that occur in gun, because in the B combination we have discussed 1G and 1B. That means 1 unit of guns have decreased, has lost because of gaining 1 unit of B. So similarly, we have discussed the topic in MOC also. 1 unit, that 15 units of your good X was there, and then good Y was also there. So for gaining good X from 1 unit to another, we lost 1 unit of Y. So if we lost 1 unit of Y, that will be loss of output for Y. And if we gain some units of X for by losing Y units, by losing some units of Y, that will be gain of output of X. So let's move on to the next topic, that is characteristics of your PPF. So what is PPF? Again, production possibility frontier. So there are basic two characteristics of your PPF. The first characteristic is it always slopes downward. That means ऊपर से नीचे की तरफ हमेशा बनेगा ये, ठीक है? And PPF is concave shaped. You know concave lenses? So it is always in the form of concave shape. So PPF is always slopes down. What is the reason behind this? The reason is when we are consuming more and more units, more of one good can be produced only by taking resources away from production of another goods. Again, one good units will be gaining and another will be losing some units. So because of that, it is always downward sloping. So the concave shaped, why it is called as concave shape? PPF is concave shaped because of increasing marginal rate of transformation. Yes, as you know, MOC is always increasing, marginal rate of transformation is also increasing. So that is more and more units of one commodity are sacrificed to gain an additional unit of another commodity. So what we do? We generally add some units of the commodity. So because of this increasing MRT, we are getting PPF in the concave shape. Now, some people might be having the question in their mind, can PPF be convex to the origin? So it can be convex to the origin? Yes. So there are certain conditions in this in which we can say PPF can be convex to the origin if MRT is decreasing, if our marginal rate of transformation starts declining, it starts decreasing, less units of commodity are sacrificed to gain an additional units of another commodity. So in that case, what will happen? In such case, PPF will be convex shaped. Next is, now another question that will be coming in your mind is, can PPF be a straight line? Yes, it can be straight line. When? So when marginal rate of transformation is constant, so when we assume MRT is constant, it is not changing, and the level of the amount of commodity sacrificed to gain an additional unit of another commodity is same. So in this case, your PPF can be a straight line. Next thing is with us, that is whether economy will always operate on PPF. So the answer is PPF does not show the point at which the economy will actually operate. So PPF will not tell you how the economy will operate. So it will not show you any point where the economy is going to actually operate. So it only shows the maximum available possibilities of the combinations which an economy can produce for two commodities. So next thing is the exact point of operation depends on. So for an economy, what are the points that for an operation we needed? So the exact point of operation depends on how well the resources of the economy are used. So the first point is economy will operate on PPF only when resources are fully and efficient utilized. So the value, the point, if all the resources are utilized, fully utilized, then fully and efficiently utilized, then the point of PPF, that will be the combination is attainable, and that will lie on the PPF curve. So I'll show you in detail in the with the next picture. So the next thing is second point is economy will operate at any point inside PPF if resources are not fully and efficiently utilized. When the resources are not fully utilized, then then PPF will show some points which will be inside the PPF. So this shows that all the resources are not fully and efficiently utilized. Now the last point is economy cannot operate at any point outside PPF as it is unattainable with available productive capacity. Some points, some goals are not reachable to us. So we are not able to achieve those goals. So in that point, we call it as unattainable combinations of goods, so which we cannot even produce. So the next point we will discuss with attainable and unattainable combinations. So these two things we are going to summarize with PPF. Points along the frontier show trade-off between two different goods. For society to get more one, we must give up some other A, B, C. So if we are utilizing the goods in a proper way, so combination A, point B, point C are lying on the production possibility frontier. So these are the point where we are utilizing all the resources. Fine, this is the point. Now, if the point Y, that is unattainable or unobtainable, that means the goods and the combinations which we are utilizing, that is, this point is beyond that those combinations. So this is unattainable point. We don't have that uh, different technology. We don't have the resources to reach at this point. So this point is unattainable point when we are talking about the production possibility frontier. Next is inside. So your point X is inside your production possibility frontier. This indicates there is inefficient use of resources, and these resources are not fully utilized, fully and efficiently utilized. So this is the point. So that means we can further make improvement in the technology to achieve the production possibility frontier, and we can put this point on the production possibility frontier. This point can be lie with the improvement of technology and full utilization of resources uh, on the production possibility frontier. So this is all about the attainable and unattainable combinations. Now the next topic is change in PPF. When we talk about the change, there are two types of changes that occur in PPF. The first we are discussing now is rotation of PPF. So when we talk about PPF's rotation, the first is leftward rotation, another is rightward rotation. So when we see just change in one uh, one of the commodity, then it will lead to this rotation in the commodity. So in the first picture you can see 1.9 picture. So figure 1.9, we are having two combinations. On y-axis we have guns in units, and on x-axis we have butter in units. So they have mentioned this. So the first that PPF is AB, that is there, but we have got, if we got the technology that is not better, so we have got the combination which is not fully utilized, and in this case the shift turns sorry, the rotation comes inside the point. The the unit which we are using for X commodity are less as compared to A. So in this case leftward rotation occurs, and when we improve the point, when we use more of X commodity, then it will be the rotation that is rightward. in direction. Now, if we talk about the rotation in on y-axis, so again the same. If we are moving, we are using less of y guns, we are using less units of guns, then we are into leftward rotation and there is no change in the technology of B, but for Y there are changes. So changes occur with the rotation here. So if it will be declining from this A point to D, then it will be the leftward rotation, and if it is increasing from A to C, then it is the rightward rotation on the y-axis. So this is on the case of change in PPF on the basis of rotation. So there are two types of rotation. One is leftward, another is rightward. So which we can explain with both x-axis and y-axis. This can be occurred on both the axes. Now let's move on to the next point for this. So here is the next point. Shifts in PPF. So when shifts occur when there is change or improvement in the technology. So the first is the rightward shift. Again, guns and butter. So they are mentioned on x-axis butter, and for y-axis they are mentioned guns. So the basic PPF was PP. So PP dash, we call it like that. So now the improved technology has improved. So upgradation was done. Resources have increased. So because of that, guns and butters both now are produced more in the economy. So the combination has improved now. So for this case, the production possibility frontier will shift to the rightward side. So this will be the rightward shift in PPF. Now, your next point is leftward shift in PPF. When it occurs, when your technology, when resources are less in number, when your technology is facing obsolescence, or when we can say our technology becomes degraded. So in this case, what happens, your PPF shift inside, that means it shift towards left hand side, so we call it as leftward shift. So this is something which we have to do it today. So with this, our first chapter is finished, and maximum things we have covered from this chapter. So what do you have to do after this? Again, the related to your topics. So the first topic we have done today is marginal opportunity cost. You have to solve the definition. You have to write the definition for this. So I've explained to you. Next is define MRT. That also again you have to explain. Then what are the basic characteristics of PPF? You have to write both the characteristics. I've mentioned both the characters, but you have to give explanation for that. Fine. Next is what are attainable and unattainable combinations. You can make a, PPF and then show it on the PPF, which is the attainable point, which is unattainable point, which is the point which is lying on the PPF. So you can explain then what are the types of changes. So there are two types of changes we have done, shifts and rotations. Then you have to explain both the shifts and rotations in the last question. So this is your homework for today. That's all for today. Now God bless you. Thank you. Enjoy learning at home. So do well and enjoy learning at home with your family, and try to explore more regarding your knowledge of economics. So here I am again. Uh, I can say you can give me call if you have any kind of query regarding your any of the topic which is not clear to you. I will explain you again. So in the end, I will say stay happy, stay healthy, enjoy learning at home. So Cambridge International School, the SUA, is always there to help you. God bless you.